been trying to figure out what I want to do for my December, kind of like a December daily junk journal. I'm not sure how daily I'm going to be able to do it, but I definitely want to make a December junk journal. So I have this Amazon mailer, and they said recycle just like a box. So I said, fine, I will use it for the base for my junk journal. It's just about the right size. This is approximately A5 size when folded in half. So this is what I want to use for the base of my cover. And then I went to Walmart to get cough syrup or sore throat spray and cough drops to try to find some fabric that I wanted to put on it. And so I found a couple that they didn't have exactly what I was looking for, but I like this, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. And it was just like a fat quarter. And then they had this, which I like it, but again, it's not exactly what I wanted. I don't know. What I wanted, apparently, I found, but they didn't have any fabric. And it's kind of like the Pioneer Woman, like her cooking line of colors. There was a quilted looking thing, and I loved that pattern, but couldn't find it. So I eventually found this placemat, which, you know, it has kind of, I like this texture because I'm a texture person. And as luck would have it, or fate, or whatever you want to call it, I'm feeling pretty blessed today. It is the perfect size. It's a little bigger than my, the base for my book, but when doubled over, it's going to perfectly cover the front and the back. So I think this is the winner. I think this is what I'm going to use for my cover. I'm going to have to glue it down. Then what I think I'd like to do is stitch around it to just extra hold it in. But I think I have decided this is going to be my cover. So I am step one into getting my journal put together. I glued it together, and then I tried to sew it with my sewing machine, and my sewing machine was not acting right. It kept breaking. I mean, the thread will not stay in there. So I got, you know, one half of it done, and I had to give up. And so I found some embroidery thread and a big, I don't know, do you call this a yarn needle or like an upholstery needle? I don't know, but it worked for this. So I just did a blanket stitch. Again, it's not beautiful, but it works. I really wanted the pieces here closed. I didn't want to leave that open, but it is glued. The Amazon package is in there. So I now have the cover, and I'm ready to start creating the signatures that will go inside. I think I have picked out the papers that I want to use. I have just gone through my paper packets of things. I don't have an actual kit. What I have is a couple of these bags that are just basically leftovers from previous years. And then I just kind of put them in here when I've worked on them. So I have a couple of them. I have this one, and then I have this one. And there are all kinds of things in here. There's paper, there's some printable, there's some obviously envelopes maybe that had Christmas cards and letters in them from, you know, maybe last year. Things I cut out of junk mail that I thought was interesting. All kinds of things. Maybe some things that I had worked on and hadn't used yet. So this was a napkin on sheet music. So just all kinds of things in here. And then I do have this little bag with stickers, and there's some postcards in here. I probably wouldn't actually use these postcards. I will probably scan them because I got them when I was antique and thrift shopping last year with my daughter. And but I really like them, and I think they're going to go well. So if I use these, I'll scan them in. And then just stickers, old and new, and also some, let's see, gift tags that I had gotten last year and used for something else. And I was like, well, there was more than what I needed. So I have plenty of stuff like that. And I have one more bag of, again, just things that I've cut out or made, or just scraps. But I am challenging myself to use them. I also have pulled out some napkins that I have a couple that look, well, festive, that I would use. Oh, I've got another envelope of things over here. Well, I clearly have a lot. This was from the junk journal that I did last year, and so I'm reusing some of those papers and things that didn't make the cut, I guess. Didn't make the cut last year, but that's what was in here. I just pulled all of this stuff out that's been packed away since last Christmas. So I'm excited to use it. Some digitals that I had used, and I have some extra things, so I'm going to have myself use those. And these are, that was junk mail, but I liked it. Some scrapbook paper. This is a digital that I made that was with that kit that I made last year that I used. And so there's some of that in here. This was a printable from, I don't remember, online. And these are digital papers that I had made last year from some vintage Christmas wrapping paper. And so I just have all of that I may use for at collaging probably. I'm not sure. So I just printed them out, and I forgot to put a bleed on them, so I'm gonna have to trim them off anyway. Here I just collaged all the, digitally collaged them together. So I have those. Okay, so that is what I have as far as things that I'm going to draw from to use in my journaling for my December. I don't know, I'm calling this a December daily maybe. I'm not sure. I'll do something every day, and I have so far, but I've just been putting it together in this one video. So I don't know that I will have a video go up every day, but I'll try to film what I work on every day. So I have the cover. And then for the papers, I picked out, so I think they'll fold in half, because this is about a letter size paper. It's a little bigger. It's probably a 9x12 envelope. So I'll be able to use 8.5 by 11 paper, and I'll either trim off or fold in these edges. But I have a lot of this paper that I had gotten at my local thrift store, pages and envelopes, and I had used them in junk journal last year, so I still have plenty. So some of them are coffee dyed, some are not, but I thought I would use those, and I thought it looked really good. I thought it would work. So this will be the outside pages, so it'll fold and it'll look like this, is what I'm thinking. And then I have another one of these pages. Again, they just had a whole packet for like 50 cents of these papers, so I just bought them, and I coffee dyed this, but I thought that was kind of fun, that maybe I'll layer it so it'll come out like that. I don't know. Some sheet music. I think this was wrapping paper or scrap paper. This was scrapbook paper. I am not going to worry about cutting that off, because I'm sure I'm just going to cover over it with something. Some coffee dyed paper, because I love to make coffee dyed paper. I love the look of it and the feel of it. This was a scrap. I have a couple scraps left from this paper, and I like the mistletoe holly bell kind of I guess is the theme that's coming together. And what are these called again? They're flowers in their pots. Oh, you know, I still have that sometimes where I can't think of the word. They're the Christmas flower. I don't know, it'll come to me. I know what it is, I just can't, the word's not coming to me. Anyway, so I thought this kind of feels like the theme of what this is going to be, and obviously it's dictated by the cover that I picked. So I have a couple of those, and then I do have just some plain coffee dye paper in there. This was a party bag from, I don't know, maybe the dollar store a couple years ago that I had used, and then I was like, well, I can put that in there, and it kind of goes, the colors. And I did put some of this lined paper in. I thought it kind of, I don't know, I think I'm gonna leave it in there. This was more scrapbook paper, and this was some coffee dyed and pink. I don't know if you can tell, but I like that. So that is going in there, and I'm not sure if that's going to be all of it, because this would be the inside. Let's see, which way did this go? This would be the inside of the page of the, and I kind of like to have something kind of patterned in there, so I don't know. Let's see, maybe it goes this way. So as you can see, a couple of these pages are a little, well, they'll fit. I guess they don't all have to be. That's the great thing about a junk journal. They don't all have to match if you don't want them to. But I thought about if I would cut that off or not. But I'm even leaving the selvage, the offcuts that you're supposed to cut off, because I like that little quote. So I'm going to leave that in there, all of it. Who knows? It may get covered over. Probably that won't, but... So how many pages did I think this was? I think 12 maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll count this. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. I guess that's good. Anywhere from 10 to 15 feels like a good amount for one signature. And I was thinking I would stitch it in with this. This is just green twine, and I think I bought this at Christmas a couple of years ago. So I think I'm going to use this and sew this in. I think that is the plan. Yeah, so I think I'll do that, and then I'll come back. So I just did the basic little pamphlet stitch, and I tied it off in the center here, and I haven't decided. Sometimes I like to add little charms, and you know, that way it kind of dangles about here. So I've left this on until I decide if that's what I'm going to do, or, you know, if I'm going to cut it off here. I don't know yet. Sometimes I put, I would stitch an envelope in, and then I could close it over it and you wouldn't see it, but I decided to leave it out until I decide what to do with it. So this is my, what I'm going to use for my junk journal for December. I really like the way I layered that. And it's ready for me to start decorating. Probably, maybe I'm going to cut this open. I don't know. Sometimes it's a good idea to do if I use it as a pocket. And oh, pretty happy. So this one's open already. Do I want to fold that one? I don't know. Maybe. And there. So, step one, the book is assembled and poinsettia. It just came to me. Oh, goodness. Poinsettia. It's assembled and it's ready for me to start decorating. So thanks for following along as I make my December daily junk journal, and feel free to hit like and subscribe so you'll be notified when I have new videos up.